Any pitcher and his elbow. The most toxic relationship there can be next to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. But unlike that relationship, it just won't end. If there's one thing you can take away from spring training lately, it's that pitch count and limiting how many innings pitchers pitch. Grooving them into the normal season has very little effect on the pitcher's health. It's pretty obvious at this point it's a max effort issue. Throwing as hard as you can on every pitch rather than the overall pitches you're actually throwing. Garrett Cole became the next biggest name to have to get under the knife for elbow surgery. Although he's impressive because it took him a long time to get there. Seems like so many pitchers have had elbow surgery at least once when they're young, and when they get it in the big leagues, sometimes it's already like the second time they've gotten it in their life. Like Walker Buehler is 30 years old and has already had Tommy John surgery twice. Nathan Eovaldi has also had two, with the first coming in high school. Cole is 34 and just getting it for the very first time, so it's impressive to be as healthy as he was this whole time, but also a reminder of just how inevitable it is. You can only avoid it for so long, and we already have a couple more potentially really drastic injuries for other notable pitchers around the game just from this spring. Really quick, as always, if you're part of the 51% of viewers not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button if you enjoy the videos, as the Pirates may hit as well as me and MLB The Show. That's another way of saying it's atrocious. They literally got no hit today, but the pitching is far and away a strength to be excited about. Obviously Paul Skeens, but overall their pitching staff, like as a whole, is really good, and Jared Jones is a name you shouldn't let the hype for Skeens totally drown out. Jones, who was the Pirates' opening day starter last year, didn't put up some generational rookie year like Skeens did, but he still showed what he was capable of. He did miss about 10 starts because of a lat injury, and it was his rookie season on a last-place Pirates team, so no need to push him that much anyway. But he has good strikeout stuff, throws really hard, doesn't walk many hitters. I mean, Jones after Skeens has potential to be one of the more deadly 1-2 punches in the game, for sure. Jared Jones also just sounds like someone who should be pitching for the Pirates. I guess it reminds me of Davy Jones or whatever. I'm sure Jones is a good guy, but the name just sounds like some asshole who's about to tell you to walk the plank, which is perfect. And this spring, Jones only showed more to be excited about. In 12 innings, he struck out 17 hitters. His fastball was cooking. Everything was looking promising until...
Great practical joke, Jim. Got me go to the annex.
No! Jones started feeling elbow discomfort with a week before the season, and it does not look good right now. The team's senior director of sports medicine told reporters that Jones has had medical imaging done, and the team is currently awaiting a second opinion, which is never a good sign, a second opinion. At that point, you're basically just praying for some reason the injury isn't as bad as it originally seemed, which is never really the case, even if he's able to avoid surgery. Like I said with Cole last year. Yeah, he may have been able to avoid Tommy John then, but elbow problems don't magically heal. It's going to eventually lead to that same place, the hospital. Like, Jones's season is already limited now, and pitching at all just seems like delaying the inevitable. And waiting on the surgery just feels like delaying the inevitable. I really hope he somehow can avoid surgery, have an awesome season, but the team, even seemingly just holding their breath at this point, obviously is not good. And well, we have another one. Not on the Pirates, on the Rays now. Shane McClanahan is one of the more electric pitchers in baseball. You may have forgotten about him since he missed all of last season and the last half of 2023 because of Tommy John surgery, but he's awesome. He throws super hard, good strikeout stuff. It's pretty electric. He's basically what Blake Snell and David Price used to be, a young, hard-throwing lefty ace with the Rays. And even though he hasn't pitched since 2023, it's not a shock to see him being named the opening day starter for the Rays, the third time he will have that honor. But unfortunately, that won't be happening anymore after what happened today. On McClanahan's final outing of the spring before opening day, he was dominating, striking guys out, his fastball looked good, everything seemed fine until...
His reaction to the pitch. Ooh, that does not look good right there. And you can see McClanahan waving toward the dugout.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
This man is just coming back from surgery and already having arm issues. I mean, in the middle of the game, he was acting as if he snapped his arm or something. That did not look good. The Rays announced that he left the game with left triceps tightness and will undergo imaging and testing to determine the severity over the next couple of days. Now, obviously, better to hear triceps than elbow if you want to look at any sort of silver lining here, but even then, everything in the arm is all connected. A triceps injury can lead to a UCL tear, which is what Tommy John fixes. And even if it doesn't lead to that, it's still an arm issue. I hope I'm dead wrong, but I'm gonna imagine he'll at least be out the first couple months of the season. And that's just based off the immediate reaction of what it looks like. If it's a pretty severe injury, I'm sure it would take longer. The Rays are very used to this stuff happening. I mean, any team is, but especially the Rays. They're very good at turning guys into good pitchers. They're very good at developing arms, whether it's a guy like McClanahan, who was a first-round draft pick, or Jeffrey Springs, a guy who you might not even know who that is, but he went to the Rays and became great. And now he's in with the A's now. But when he was with the Rays, he also got hurt and had to get elbow surgery. So the Rays have a really special pitching lab they got going on, but it doesn't at all prevent their elbows from snapping in half. Although it does kind of align with the Rays system anyway. The Rays have never been a team that has really tried to get a core of players that are there for a long time. I almost look at them as, I don't know, like some terrorist organization. They basically get players and use them as much as they think they'll be helpful, but in their eyes, they're also very expendable. They have no loyalty really to the individual players in terms of keeping them Rays forever, so they have no issue trading them and moving on to someone else. So some of these pitchers they get, it's almost like they look at their arms as a ticking time bomb and want to use up their talents as much as they can before they get hurt, like strapping a bomb onto them and totally being okay with them helping the Rays organization, even if it means their elbow blows up in the process. I know, extreme analogy, but it kind of makes sense. They're so good at developing pitching and talent in general to the point where it doesn't really matter to them as much if a guy or two or three or four goes down, because they always seem to figure out a way to put up a solid team. And even if the pitcher is totally healthy, it's not like they're going to give him some big contract in free agency or anything. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's pretty genius, a lot of what the Rays have done. I mean, it's worked because they've been at the top of baseball and winning the last several years. Up until last year, they had made the playoffs for 5 straight seasons, and they've made it 9 of the last 17 years. They may be cheap. They don't even have a home right now, but they do have a very smart front office, and you can't take that away from them. But that doesn't stop McClanahan's injury from being a tough blow. It's of course a tough blow to the man himself. You can only imagine how he feels. And just in a baseball sense, like, McClanahan is fun to watch. His stuff is electric. But with him and Jones now having scary injury issues following Garrett Cole finally, after all these years having to get Tommy John, it's just a reminder that pitchers in general, no matter who they are, how established they are, you just got to hold your breath as a fan and hope they can pitch as much as they can and avoid any injuries as much as they can, because either way, it's going to happen. Let's all hope for the best for Jones and McClanahan, but it undeniably, of course, looks bad right now. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching.